Morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yay.
Yay. We're going to talk about episodes 5 and 6. The final 2 weddings and
For now.
for now. And the first dinner party.
What a ride.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Quite big episodes.
Really big episodes. When I'm now looking back, I'm like, oh, those we've watched, that's just 2 episodes.
Yeah.
That's
They
crazy.
saved some spicy couples for the last 2 weddings.
Really amazing. I'm actually amazed.
At the casting.
Yes, and how they've turned out right now.
Like, what do you mean?
In a good way.
Well, they were all like each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I'm shocked. Anyway, we'll
I don't
get
know
into
what's
it.
going on
With whom?
Jacqui and Ryan.
That's
but
what I'm blown away by. They seem to
I
like
don't
each
know
other.
what's should we start with them?
Yeah, go on then.
Oh my God.
Well, one of my first notes is, well, brutal.
I
My
wonder if
first
it's the
note
same as mine.
is hot. ... Because she kept talking
That is
about how
brutal.
hot she is. I'm sorry.
It's
I
not
think-
that she's not hot. It's just that someone who so openly boasted about being hot every second. You'd think that they'd be like the hottest person ever.
Well, I think the main problem for us when she was talking about how hot she is that she wanted blonde children, which was, we were like,
That was creepy.
Bing, Aryan alert.
Yeah.
Like, that's
was
not
creepy.
very cool. And you're also not blonde.
Yeah.
You have brown hair from your head, ginger dye, and brown eyebrows. So what are you actually talking about?
What's going on?
And she kept talking about beautiful babies being blonde, and I was just like, that's creepy. Stop doing that.
Yeah. My first note on her is has read 2,000 books.
That's my second note. ...
about business.
Oh, yes, she said, I've read 2,000 books, and then she said they were self-development books.
And she said, I've read every single book that there is to read about business.
A book on self-development isn't a book. Like, you can't say you've read a book. Well, you can, but it's not like that. Reading 2,000 books, that one of those ones doesn't count.
Yeah, a book on self-development is basically like lots of articles stuck together.
Yeah.
We're being snobs.
Sorry. I can
not
also say this
taking-
because I'm not reading loads of books.
It's not escapism. It's not taking your mind off on a journey, you know, losing yourself in another world, in a character, in stories, challenging form, experimental style. It's write 10 things you're grateful for every day. Like, yeah,
Oh
we
my
know.
God. I just have to tell you something really funny as well that my sister just said to me on the phone.
What?
She was speaking to a family member of ours.
Yeah.
You know who. And she said, sorry, I don't take advice from people who aren't successful.
She should be on MAFS. That is like something
Isn't
someone
that
on MAFS would
incredible?
say.
I was like, whoa. That's so funny.
In that context, that's a slay. But
yeah.
in general,
Maths. Oh, in general, that's
that's
awful.
alarming.
But in MAFS context, cast her. Mm-hmm. She's got a boyfriend though. Annoying.
Oh yeah, yeah, and we approve.
We
so,
approve.
You know, no shade on the relationship.
Yeah.
I don't think she listens, so I don't know why we're worrying.
No, we don't need to worry. So, yeah, the obsession with genetics made me feel really icky. She kept saying, I come from great genetics, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I'm like, genetics, great genetics. Like, so you're literally white and you're saying that all you're referring to is whiteness and blondness, which is like, that's really gross.
Yeah.
That's really gross. So I wasn't vibing that. She had no self-awareness.
What a weird thing to say.
Really weird.
Like, what have you... Like, has she done loads of tests and found out that she's immune to every disease in the world? Or is it literally just that she's a bit not even naturally blonde?
I don't know. And is that her way of like... I mean, no, I feel like I'm dancing around it. I'm like, that's really racist.
Oh, you've really gone there again.
What, by just calling someone racist?
Yeah.
But I think she is being racist.
I don't know if I took it to that place. I mean, if she's talking about blondness, then it can't. Yeah, you can't not relate it.
Yeah, exactly. That's my problem with it. And also,
I'm the legal department, preventing us from getting sued at every cost.
then if you don't want to get sued, then
But it's a hard,
Oh, wait, sorry,
it's a
no.
hard journey.
Sorry, it's my fault because I've got a big mouth. But at the same time, she's the one that fucking said it on telly and didn't stop going on about it. And like, I'm not going to be the only person that's saying this. Am I?
I don't know.
No, of course I'm not.
No, the blonde thing was really weird. But I think I didn't feel like she was thinking about other races as much as she was just thinking about herself and being obsessed with herself.
Yeah, I don't think she was,
Like
but I
her
think
and her
that's
sister.
an issue, and I think she needs to examine that because that is what she's doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't use the word again. Did you notice? Wrong is what I went for.
I just feel like her and her sister have just decided that they're the hottest shit in the world, and it's like, why? I don't know who
this man is.
I don't know who is worse in this couple. Like,
Oh my! Well,
they are unbelievable, both of them.
I think I do have a verdict. They're both really unbelievable.
He's worse.
He's worse.
Yeah. out of everyone in the show, he's the person that I would least want to be stuck in a lift with. Out of everyone.
Oh god, yeah.
More than Tim, more than everyone.
I'd be stuck in a lift with sweaty palms Tim.
Yeah.
Any day over this guy. With his teeny... I'm sorry. I'm sorry to body shame. It's not his body that I'm shaming. It's his teeny tiny head.
So small. All those protein shakes.
But where have the knights and the warriors and the philosophers gone?
Oh my god.
You were like,
sorry.
Daisy said, the philosophers haven't gone anywhere.
There's loads of philosophers. You're obviously just not reading them, mate, because you're like, where's Plato?
That's the one. I was like, what's the name of that one? Plato.
Oh my god. Also him
Although
saying...
he probably doesn't even know who Plato is.
Probably. Him saying he's a warrior when he's a fucking project manager. I'm like, what are you warrioring?
I think, if he was being a bit like... less earnest, a bit more kind of like self-aware. The idea of being a warrior could be kind of cute because you could go to karate, you could go to kickboxing. I don't know what
it could be cute in the way that it's like, I want to get strong and I want to,
and I respect ancient cultures and I like their warrior and I don't know, fighting skills, and I think that's very interesting and cool. Not just thinking you're the only fighter, warrior, fucking philosopher left on Earth when you're literally the most boring man I've ever seen.
Yeah, it could be cute, it could be fine, but this is where I'm going to link it to a much deeper issue and accusation. But we know that when we hear these words these days, especially paired with something like men have it really hard right now.
Yeah.
Then we're like, ding dong, Jordan Peterson alert.
I was literally just going to say Jordan Peterson. Yeah.
Right, we know what he's
Jordan
been...
Peterson his philosopher?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I reckon it must be.
I mean, Jordan Peterson apparently is a philosopher. He's a fucking shit one.
Yeah, I think he was like more... did he used to be like more reputable and then he heard about money in the right wing or something?
Yeah.
In the right wing.
Turn right, please.
Yeah. Oh, gotta go over there.
Yeah, this reeks of Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Absolutely
honking.
And you can see the 10-year-old in Ryan that is like, because they both have talked about being bullied.
Yes.
Which is obviously very sad.
That is really hard because, and I guess also in the respect of her saying, like, loving herself, like I really like that she loves herself.
But it's to an extent where she sort of hates everything else that's not her.
Yes.
And he is speaking from such a bullied place. That's what I'm seeing. Like him and all of his friends who are, I don't want to be like her, who are like, oh my God, look at his friends, look really rough. They've got tattoos. No, to me, they just look like such a collection of nerds.
Dweebs.
Yeah, who have all got together to talk about the best way to see a girl in her pants. And it's just gives me the absolute willies.
Yeah. And he said some mad shit, though.
Yeah.
He said, like, I need to find someone who can be as intelligent as me and as beautiful as I want them to be.
And he said, I'm going to live to 110 easily.
You can't just magic yourself to live to 110. Accidents happen. That's not people's fault. You absolute nutbag. He's mad. He's like that guy that was on bloody Stephen Bartlett Nemesis, who, do you remember? He's like, I'm 45.
Oh, yeah.
But I look 22, and he looks like a skin on a robot.
With the creepy,
He's like,
creepy weird hair, and he gets up at 2 a.m. to do drink all of his weird liquids and run on his machine, and then
and has loads of injections.
Oh, and
and stuff.
he eats like 5 grams of food every 10 minutes or something throughout the day.
Is that what it was?
I'm like, what is the point in this life?
Because I want to live until I'm 110. So I was about to call him Jordan Peterson. So Ryan is probably doing that as well.
Oh, definitely.
Something that Ryan hasn't. Oh, sorry. This is really mean. But I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. His teeth are filthy.
yeah, I was very distracted by his teeth. I'm surprised that's not part of the regime of this living to 110.
That's what I mean. I was like, if you could get tooth decay, you could get an abscess, and you could die.
But he's following a self-care routine that has been invented by men, basically for men. This isn't really bearing in mind a partnership, living in a house together, because if it was, teeth would be one of the first things on the list.
Well, yes, and it's just like that is a high. It's sad. It's actually making me think of in apple cider vinegar. I keep thinking about this bit where she was saying like got really annoyed at her boyfriend because he changed the sheets, and she was like, "You don't need to keep changing the sheets," and he was like, "You have to change the sheets. It's like hygiene." And she was like, "Oh my god, I literally never knew you had to change the sheets," and that really broke my heart and made me sad. That was really sad. And I keep thinking about it because I was like, "Oh god, it's so awful," and also just I mean, this is quite a tragic note, but like I think in the UK, like it's a thing at the moment that like more kids don't know how to like wash themselves, brush their teeth. Like teachers are teaching them how to do that, and that's really sad. And obviously is like neglect at home, and it's more common. And I guess like more kids. There's a lot of things like that. So it's just really sad because I guess in a way he's gone out of his way to make sure that he comes across as the strongest warrior. He's like done all this self-development on, and done it to the best of his ability. But if he doesn't have these basic, like fundamental kind of like nurtured things from when he was a child, like knowing how to brush his teeth, like it kind of falls apart a little bit. That's really, actually, I'm feeling really sorry for him now. I think it's really sad.
Well, yeah, that's why I can still see the teenager in him, because it's like,
yes.
It's like when you see those terribly like mortified with embarrassment teenage boys who are just like don't know how to look at anyone or talk to anyone, and their hair is so bad, and it's like, why didn't your mum tell you how to wash your hair? Or why hasn't your mum told you that you can do this thing and that you can do this to your teeth?
But then I guess
it's also so hard to communicate with teenagers. That's what I was going to
say, because like I mean, when you are a teenager, you just can't, you don't want to take it in. And like your brother always had where did he always have curtains? And I think your parents tried to tell him he's not going to fucking listen. Yeah. And I always had a massive fucking ugly fringe that was swept over my head and always got greasy because my skin was greasy because I was a teenager. But it
feels like something you have to do. And I was always blushing and like wanted to die from how much I blushed, but I never learned how to just put makeup on, which I could have done.
Yeah, you went to a hypnotist before you put makeup on.
Yeah. I just wasn't the type of like 13-year-old, 12-year-old that would wear a full face of foundation to school, so I just went in and suffered instead every day.
My darling, I love you. Well, now we're finding relatability.
Everyone's got a
people.
sad, heartbreaking little person inside of them, haven't they?
Yeah.
These twos are covered in layers of shit that they've built up now as defense mechanisms.
Yeah, I don't like them, but I can kind of see a bit more where they're coming from after this discussion with you.
Again, it's another version of Lauren and Eliot where they're both kind of saying that they want this weird, slightly misogynistic version of a gender dynamic in their relationship, but when they're put together, it's like they're both like freaked out by each other.
Yeah,
like she wants someone to take control who is muscly and makes money and blah blah blah, and he says he's all about that, and he wants to treat someone like a lady, but then obviously he doesn't even know to give her his jacket.
Oh my god, I forgot about the jacket thing. Jacket gate.
Because all of these things aren't actually natural and don't. But also they just
That is, yes, hammer that home. That's not. It's not natural.
yeah.
It's not in our nature. It's not in like a man's nature to be chivalrous.
Yeah.
And it's not in a woman's nature to need chivalry.
Yeah, because she's one of those ones that's like, I want someone to take control, but also is the biggest control freak in the world.
Yeah, and I want
is analysing every single thing. It's
I want someone to take control, but I need to be in charge at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what the fuck do you want then?
Yeah.
Just both chill.
It made me laugh when I can't remember if it was in his speech or in just a VT, and when he was saying, like, I think it was in his speech, when I was a child, my eyesight grew worse and worse and worse. And then there was like sad music in the background. And I thought it was going to be that he was like partially sighted or something, but it was literally just a story about him having glasses. It was like, then I got glasses. But that was such a like incelly, like Jordan Peterson-esque.
Like, my eyesight grew worse.
I was bullied because I had glasses. I'm like, yeah, everyone else in the world has glasses too. You can't make this your like hero's journey narrative.
Yeah. Why did she cry in the VT or do the pretend crying?
She cried about him not giving her his jacket, I think, and saying, "I just want to be treated like a lady" or something. And it didn't look like there was actually tears coming out.
She was pretending. What's really weird is then it seems after the drop, she suddenly really liked him.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what happened.
So true.
He failed in his mission.
Oh my God.
And I also feel bad because you can see that he definitely just stood on the dress.
God.
And
the number of times that they previewed this moment of him dropping her and then referred to it afterwards.
And when he tried to say, we need to preserve this woman's dignity. And she's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. That was so embarrassing. But that just exposed the whole thing, didn't it? Like, he's pretending that he's acting for her, but it's actually all about himself and his masculinity, not her femininity.
Yeah.
Like, it's all just a big facade. And he was so mortified. But again, if he hadn't built up his identity being linked to his strength, then it wouldn't matter that happened. I mean, it's always going to be embarrassing. It was embarrassing. But yeah, you're right. He stepped on her dress. It's nothing to do with like how strong his arms were.
Which is... I think, to be honest, it's kind of like better that we've seen it replayed so many times for
True.
his sake, because I'm like, oh, that's what happened. You stood on her dress, like you didn't drop her, but she seemed to not mind. And it based on the jacket, Jacqui's jacket gate, you'd think that she would have been more pissed off, but she didn't seem to give a fuck.
I don't know what is going on with her because it seemed like she was going to be absolutely fuming and leave the show because he wasn't blonde. And he couldn't read her mind to do all the things she wanted. But now she's just sort of settled in for the ride. Like, yeah, he's my husband now. I'm like, what? You guys don't even like each other. But maybe that's part of the whole thing. Maybe she's just decided.
Yeah, I don't know why she decided. And she was...
Yeah, maybe the drop... Well, she bashed her head, didn't she? Maybe.
Oh, she's got concussion.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I love the producers coming in and going, do you need a medic? You whacked your head. And like, just to piss him off more. Yeah. Oh, God.
Amazing. And in the ceremony...
Yeah.
She actually is like one of the first people to say... he pre-wrote all of his vows, so all of this stuff that he's saying about a beautiful woman, like, it's not me, like, he's just said it. And I was like, oh
which
my
we
God,
always think when I knew this was going to be a good day, and then I saw your face and I thought, my bride is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I was like,
listen,
you wrote this a week ago.
You read that better than they would, because they wouldn't even look up from the placard. Yeah, exactly. You read placard. No, what's it?
Up from placard.
It's a placard, like, really big one.
Yeah, like Love Actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
she was the first one to actually say that. Usually they're like, that was so lovely what he said.
They're like, it's so amazing that he said that about me. And it's like, he wasn't fucking saying it about you though, was he?
Yeah.
Because he wrote that. Yeah, that's really good.
So it was like, she's got some common sense in
Yeah.
those moments, but then her idea of what a relationship should be was just
Not common sense.
absolutely cuckoo. Like, if you want to be a control freak and like a business bitch, just let yourself run with that and get a little like chilled out guy who's happy to look after the kids. Like, why are you trying to mash together these two things of your like ambition, but plus he must dominate me in all ways and be the
But also I don't want
financial master of the relationship? Like,
It's exhausting. It's so funny that like people who want those kind of things make out like that's the simplest answer and how feminism has gone mad. But I'm like, you're making it so complicated for yourself.
yeah,
How are we meant to? How do you reconcile that? That is way more complicated.
yeah.
Than just doing your own thing.
Just see if you like each other and
Yeah.
see if your lives meld together.
And if they don't, see ya.
See ya. Tony and Morena.
Morena.
Morena, what a beautiful woman.
No, Morena. She's beautiful, man. She's beautiful. Yes, please. Tony and Morena. Oh, God. What a interesting thing. What an Tony and Morena. What an interesting thing. Sorry, I was like, what is that? Hakuna Matata is what it sounded like. Anyway, sorry. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's funny where we end up. We will come back to this, but with his friend causing all the trouble. Cousin. Because, and, you know, saying you deserve better than this or whatever, because the whole time I was just thinking, I don't know if he's going to be good enough for her.
Me too.
Like,
I don't know if he's going to be fun enough. He seems quite traditional. He's living in his dead parents' house and hasn't done anything to it. He's living in it like a shrine.
Yeah. But obviously, as usual, she's grateful and open-hearted.
Yeah.
And so far, he likes her. Let's just take it at face value.
Yeah, that's what we have to do.
Before the cousin came in, I was really having a lovely time watching them together.
Me too. And she does seem like an amazing person. I really think it's cool. Like, if she was my mom, I'd be a bit cringed. But it's so cute that it's horrible and awful that she was in an abusive marriage.
Yeah.
And then when she came out of it, she just did all of the things she wanted to do. And
so lovely.
She built a little like granny flat for her son in her garden. So
Love
he can live
her relationship with her son.
That's just wonderful. What a lovely woman.
She seemed like a really nice mum. Like, every time her kids spoke to her, she just really like gave them time to say what they wanted to say, rather than sort of like controlling and I don't know. I just liked the way that she communicated with them.
And like, I feel like he's like a bit of a short king. I feel like you can see her beauty and he can look at her and be like, wow, she's stunning. They look gorgeous together, I think.
Yeah.
They're a good looking couple.
The idea that he should be not feeling lucky to be matched with her is ridiculous, because she's beautiful.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm like, yeah. She is beautiful.
Dispatches from two lesbians watching a good-looking middle-aged woman on TV.
A single
She's
middle-aged
wonderful.
woman who's just what she looks. Absolutely
Such a good person.
Stunning. She's beautiful. So kind-hearted.
so brave.
Tall, long hair. So I was surprised that Morena didn't do better on the dating scene, because I feel like she's the kind of perfect blend for a man who's had a midlife crisis and has left his marriage because he needs someone younger and more exciting, and then he's had an affair with a 20-year-old and then it's fallen apart. I feel like she's the perfect blend of like a mature age that's sensible for the man and like young and free and doing fun things.
Well, hopefully that's what she'll be for Tony.
I think it seems that way.
But it's not actually been that long since she split up from her husband. Like,
Has it not?
I think it's been like a few years, in which time I imagine she's just been getting her life together and being herself and exploring what she enjoys. I feel like it was maybe like 4 years or something.
Wow, she's become a DJ in that time?
It's not that long, or maybe 7 years.
Yeah.
And before that, she wasn't dating because she was just with that guy the whole time.
Yeah.
So, and coming out of an abusive relationship, it would have taken time for her to get the confidence back.
Definitely.
So really, he is very lucky. Very lucky, because he's meeting her at her peak of confidence.
Oh my God. And so basically, because Tony's cousin Stephen doesn't want to fuck Morena, so then he's not good enough for Tony.
This is just get out of each other's pants.
I know.
He's
he's got a tan, a full set of natural teeth, and he should be awarded someone younger. Awarded? Like she's a fucking prize? Get out.
Hell? I don't understand it. I don't understand how it's a bit like the brother in White Lotus who is trying to get his younger brother laid.
Yeah.
Like, are you not creeped out by thinking about your relatives having sex and
why are you trying to initiate
enabling them with young people?
That is really weird.
Like, he's an old bloke with a bit of a tummy. Like,
he's fine.
What kind of delusional image do you have of
someone
him?
who's in their 30s maybe. And
what are these aged women supposed to do? Go out with people who are just about to die?
That's exactly, why?
It's so weird.
What was amazing though was that Tony actually stood up for her immediately. And he said, I like the way she talks and the way she touches, and when you get older you start thinking a bit differently, a bit more wisely. It's just like, oh my god, yes, I just couldn't believe the way he was standing up for her.
And he was like, are you actually attracted to her? And she was like, I think she's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was so relieved.
And like, if he's going to say the truth to anyone, he's going to say the truth to to Stephen, his cousin.
Of course.
I think he would.
You think?
I do.
I mean, part of me is like, okay, this is the kind of guy that you've been hanging out with your whole life. How much can he have avoided absorbing that sort of attitude? Like, I'm worried about that.
Well, yeah.
But from everything that we've seen from him, he seems really nice.
Yeah.
And the two cultures coming together. Is he Cypriot?
Grappa. No, he is Macedonian.
Oh, yeah.
And she's Italian, I think.
Oh, it was a lovely wedding.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Energy, joy. All of her friends were like really lovely and like, oh, he looks perfect, and really excited for her. I just think, why not? Why the hell not?
Why the hell not? I have written down, is he a master manipulator or actually the kindest soul? Can't tell, because he might be a really good manipulator.
Because also...
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
I was just going to say, did his parents... Like, maybe he used to be a manipulator, but maybe his parents dying, like, has humbled him? Or matured him?
I'm also concerned because... Was he married when he was young?
I can't remember.
Either way, I feel like he hasn't had a relationship for a long time. So it hasn't, like, shared a space with a woman of his age, and she's got a lot of like makeup on, fake eyelashes, so he's going to have to see her without all of that.
Yes.
And somehow men aren't able to be like, I see an aged face in the mirror every day, so I know what they look like. Like they're shocked by one when it's on a woman.
Yeah.
So I'm nervous that that's going to happen. Should we just leave it at, positive hope and move on to the dinner party?
Yes, and I think, the positive hope for these couples continues into the dinner party as well.
True.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like, he didn't look like he was fishing around for some young
piece of ass.
Yeah. to flirt with at the dinner party.
Oh,
so
God, I'm just already dreading this situation right now.
Oh.
So, for a start, like, I don't know why Lauren, Katie or Lauren, but more so Lauren. Why the fuck would you even go to the dinner party?
I don't know.
They must have to.
Well, Katie and Tim haven't officially broken up.
Okay. But like, okay.
Like, and Katie has such low self-esteem and is being gaslit by him. She doesn't know whether it's on or off, or even though it's obviously off. So I understand why she has come along.
Yeah.
But Lauren...
Doesn't make any sense.
I think she probably just wants to be on the telly.
I really thought that Eliot was going to show up because of her being there. I was like, it just must be happening, because otherwise...
I think he's going to show up to the commitment ceremony.
But there isn't a commitment ceremony, remember? Because there was just a flash forward of...
I know, but I mean...
the later ones.
Yeah.
What's she gonna... Maybe he'll just show up at the apartments or something in between. Because otherwise, why would she be there?
Yeah. So we saw him talking to John Aiken.
Yes.
And they didn't act like this is the last time we're ever seeing him. So
no, I don't
know.
I don't think it is.
But the things that he said in this meeting, oh my God. He wanted...
Oh my God. I can't even believe there's more to talk about that isn't just the dinner party. Go on.
He wanted a cute librarian.
Oh!
A cute librarian who goes to the gym every day. Me love.
No one.
This doesn't exist.
This is not a
got
person.
You've got to pick. You can't have a virgin who loves books and is like from a Studio Ghibli film, like some kind of hentai schoolgirl, or
yeah,
and she works on her bum every day in the gym so that it looks like a Kardashian's bum. The mixture does not exist. If someone's spending hours a day in the gym, then they're not. You choose books and I choose looks. You got to pick one, babe.
The only librarians I can think of in my head are queer with colourful hair, piercings, tattoos. Well, that's librarian 1. Librarian 2 is also a girl guide leader, Christian, goes to church, short hair,
funny
glasses, maybe coffee breath.
Yep.
Coffee? Bit stinky.
Glasses. When she takes glasses off, eyes go woggly. I mean, I'd love to be a librarian. I applied for librarian jobs.
You should be a librarian, but you don't fit in either of those categories. But I'm pretty sure there's not...
Eliot would not want to go out with me. So,
no, I'm pretty sure there's
go.
not a middle there. Anyone who is a librarian, sorry, but those
are
are the only... That's my personal experience, and you can't take that away from me. They're the only librarians I've seen.
I think librarians could be attractive to us. Some of them. There are some out there.
Which side? The combination.
And some who are maybe not that attractive. Like...
Terrible.
Conventionally, because that's not that, because they've got interesting things to think about. They're reading, and it's not just books about business. It's fucking Russian classics.
Yep.
And they're not going to the gym, and they're not fucking learning how to make your dinner and clean your shoes and suck your willy, because they've got better things to do, Eliot. So you can't have both. You can't. And they're probably over 25.
Yes, and also if you're a librarian, you probably take your job quite seriously. I think it's quite a demanding job.
Yes.
And also it's I think a lot of people want to be a librarian. Like you said, you wanted to be one.
And so if you're going on maternity... I was rejected.
If you're going to on maternity leave every year for your 6 children that Eliot wants to have, when's she going to get back to the library?
Exactly.
How's she going to have time?
Exactly.
Hell, Lord knows he's not paying for a nanny because he won't even fucking take them out for dinner. Ridiculous.
A cute librarian, like, ugh.
What are you talking about? You've never read a book in your life, mate.
That is foul.
He just was desperate to say something that was impossible for them to find.
I'm just
dumbfounded.
So
right, come on, let's get into
Tim and Katie.
Yeah. So Tim, as soon as he got there, he's like, one of the producers asked him, do you think there's hope? Like, could you fix it? And he's like, I'd be surprised if we could fix it because Katie hasn't even reached out. And then the producer said, have you texted her? Oh, don't have her number. What the fuck, mate? This is just insane. I also, do you remember how in his, when we were talking about him in the, whatever episode it was, I was saying he's a bit groomy because he was going around and talking to everyone at the wedding, everyone in her family, getting them all on his side, but not talking to her. He did the same thing here.
Yeah.
He talked to everyone individually and I don't even need to really say it. We all saw it, how he was just deflecting and everyone pointed it out.
Well, perhaps manipulator is a more legally viable word.
Oh, okay.
A manipulator.
Yeah, okay.
Because that covers then the way that he talks to Katie and the way he talks to everyone else, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's controlling everyone's reaction towards him not very well, and then quietly doing it to Katie as well in such an awful, horrible way.
Yeah. I'm so happy that Jamie saw through all the bullshit.
She's the narrator. She's seeing what we see.
She's the seeing eye. She is the narrator. God. So Lauren was the narrator last year? And Jamie's... And she's going to have a downfall.
Yeah.
And it sucks because that's how it works. And also what was so annoying is that Katie went round and been like, everyone, I don't want you to give Tim a hard time.
Oh.
And then Tim was like, I've just come in here and everyone's been walking all over. I was like, you didn't even know. She did that at the start for you, which you didn't deserve.
So infuriating when he's like, you've betrayed me. You've told people stuff about me. Yeah. stuff that you have said and done.
Yeah.
If you've done and said a thing, then you have to be okay with people hearing about you doing that thing.
Yeah.
Like her telling people that you said that you wanted someone petite, quiet, small. You said those things.
Yeah.
So don't blame her for telling other people what you said. That
Yeah.
wouldn't be an issue if you hadn't said them.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Infuriating.
And then he actually managed to, like, it's so frustrating because you can see such a seesaw in Katie because she really looked furious at moments. Like she knows he's saying pathetic things and she's just like,
She knows she's right. Yeah.
But then she still swings back into this like, oh God, I'm obviously not practiced at being in a relationship
Yes.
and I haven't given him enough attention. You fucking hugged him and he was like, like,
he's like, whoa, a bit much.
Oh.
And then he came in being like, well, it's going to be pretty fucking immature of her if she doesn't say hi to me. And then he just completely
doesn't say
ignored
hi to her.
I don't understand. It's it's that thing again of people forgetting that they're on telly. We see everything. We know everything you're doing. It's literally being filmed. You can't hide. You can't whisper to Katie and we don't know about it. We can see it.
Yeah.
I also liked that Dave, Jamie's partner, was supportive of her. Well, to an extent, you know,
Yeah.
supporting her while she was going for it. And he was kind of like, okay, babe, if you've got to do that.
Yeah.
I love that.
He was keeping her on an even keel while also being supportive. But I am worried for her because I think some people, you know, not everyone's seen behind the scenes of Katie and Tim, so people could be like, oh, Jamie's overreacting, but Jamie's just more perceptive and she can sniff out the gaslighting.
Yeah.
So yeah, she is going to get blamed for it at some point.
I'm really annoyed as well because when Lauren came in by herself, I was like, oh, this is a good thing for Casey because she might feel a bit better because Lauren is more like conventionally attractive.
Yeah.
And so she might be like, oh, it's not just because I'm this and that. Like she's been left. But then it just became a tool for Tim to be like, oh, well, I didn't do what Eliot did, so
my God,
obviously
that's
I'm
so
fine.
stupid.
And he was like, well, I would never have said that about wanting 5 kids. We've not even talked about having kids. I would never have left you. And it's like, you did so much worse. Arguably, you should have just left.
Exactly. If she brought up kids, he'd be like, bit soon. But now he's being like, she didn't even ask me if I want kids. And yeah, the difference between you and Eliot, well, Eliot is a complete cock, but he said, I don't like you for this reason, and I'm leaving and the relationship is over, which he didn't do anything of. He just kept pussyfooting around it and leaving her in this agonizing like middle ground of not actually knowing what's happening. So you haven't acted nicer than him in any way. You've just been more evasive.
They're just different, but that doesn't mean one's better than the other. They're both awful.
Yeah, and you both don't like the person you've been matched with, which in itself is okay. That's not a crime.
Totally.
It's the way that you deal with it, and he has dealt with it in a shit way.
I don't think
he's blaming on her.
Yeah, and I don't think you have to like fake intimacy or force intimacy. Like that's weird. Like if you don't find, I get it. If you don't find someone attractive, like that is weird to have to do that. But maybe just say, I'd feel a bit more comfortable if we took things a bit slower because I'm not quite feeling it yet. Can we just get to know each other and then actually put effort in?
Yeah.
Like just try and be that person's friend.
Play some
games
games together.
Yeah, exactly. Play some games. It might not end up in a marriage even though you just got married. But like you don't have to push anything.
Yeah.
So just become friends with someone and then you could just be like, actually, this isn't for me. I'm really sorry. Like I'm just not, I don't know. Just be normal about it.
Yeah.
Stop being weird.
Yeah, you've already rejected her. You don't now need to blame it all on her. Like, he's just breaking her down.
Yeah.
He's just dragging her down.
Yeah.
With every single thing he says, he's making her feel more insecure.
Oh, I'm excited for the experts to get in there. Because they were fuming when he said, you've gone up in my books because she stood up for him or whatever.
Yeah. That was so annoying.
Like physically stood up for him, not like stood up for him in a argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was infuriating. And John Aiken is my king at the moment. Loving him. Loving him. Well done, John. You've been taking the feedback from us personally on board over the past couple of years and you're really, shutting down the misogynists.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him back in the chair, the power.
Yeah, I want to see him with the power.
Also, around the edges of this drama, there's quite a lot of loved upness happening, which is nice.
Yeah.
Karina and Paul, very loved
Love
up.
Karina and Paul. I love that Karina was really like using her kind of like flirty eyes to try and get at Tim, and she was doing a very good job. And she almost threw Jamie under the bus, but then saved it by being like, that's not actually what we're here for.
Yeah.
No, I just need to know what happened from your perspective. You know, I like her. I think seems good.
Yeah, I liked that too. Oh, fucking hell, I'm not looking forward to seeing Tim rank the attractiveness of the other women, which is going to probably be next episode.
Oh, God, it can't be already, can it? Oh, values.
It is. I think it is.
Hell.
Oh.
Bring it on, baby.
Bring it on. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.